Now we'll move on, and what we wanted to do was get a perspective from basically a regional organization, the Economic and Social Commission for West Asia. Mr. Ziad Kayat will present how as a regional commission they can support coordination and reporting more generally. So Ziad, I'll hand over to you, and as I understand it, you'll be sharing your own slides.
Sure. Thank you, Alistair, and good morning, good evening to everyone there. Just confirm that you're seeing my slides, and
yeah, it's good. They're not in slideshow mode yet, but we can see them
now. Is it in slide mode now?
No, we can see all the PowerPoint windows. There we go. Now it's good.
Oh, okay, perfect. There's some delay, I guess, with the internet. Thank you, Alistair, and thanks to UNESCO and DCT for this opportunity to share our experience as a regional commission in supporting reporting and transboundary cooperation on this. So just to give a quick idea why we're interested in this. Supporting the transboundary cooperation and reporting on this is very important for the Arab region, which is one of the most water scarce regions in the world. And 21 out of the 22 Arab countries, Arab states share either a transboundary river, lake, or aquifer. So this is a very important aspect for water security in the region, the cooperation on transboundary waters. So how have we done this? We've actually held a workshop tied to each of the reporting cycles, reporting exercises on indicator 652. First one was in 2018. It was more on introducing the indicator, the methodology, and how to deal with it. Then we had the second one in 2020, and that was more on exploring coordination between the countries and the indicator, both indicators under the target 65, the 651 and the 652. So that was the focus of the second workshop. And we've also issued 2 regional reports tied to each reporting cycle, with the first one and the second one. I can quickly just highlight some of the things from the second report. It focused on the need to accelerate progress for improving transboundary water cooperation in the region. It also helped to highlight the importance of cooperation to address some of the data gaps previously identified. We saw more Arab countries reporting in this second cycle. And what was really good, not only the number of countries increased, but also the quality of reporting and the information and the data availability also increased within that reporting. So if we quickly see that, we can see that the number of reporting countries increased from 10 to 15. The average score for the aquifer component increased from 19 to 30. For the river and lake basin component from 13 to 29, and overall also the score increased from 19 to 30%. So this is some of the maps that you can see of the reporting. Unfortunately, only 9 out of the 21 countries that could report were able to provide a full value for the indicator, both for the at the national scale, and this is at the surface at the river and lake basin. So we did a national, and then we tried to look at the basin. How can this national reporting be explained at a basin level, at the coordination at the basin level? And unfortunately, we could see that this was not possible. I mean, the reporting that's done at the national could not be transferred at seeing that at the basin level. And the same thing we could see for the aquifers, except for the Northwestern Sahara aquifer system, where there you have a coordination body. And we could see clearly that the countries reporting, the 3 countries reporting on that, were at the same level of understanding of cooperation on that aquifer. And that's, we have a cooperation body, the OSS. For the other aquifers, you could not see the same values across borders or the same level of understanding of the cooperation going there. Just quickly, some of the main outcomes from that reporting and some of the main challenges, as we've said over and over, one of the biggest challenge was the lack of relevant data and information, difficulties in data and information exchange, and the resource constraint. And tied to that, the biggest problem with exchanging data and availability of data is the inadequate resources tied to that data. Again, some of the key messages that we've from the two reporting exercises, again, that accelerating cooperation transboundary is a long-term process. So although we might see the numbers in the indicator improve a lot, but we're hoping that the knowledge is built, the availability of data, and the level of cooperation is improved, although that might not be reflected in the short term in the indicator value. Any progress in transboundary water cooperation requires improved understanding of transboundary water resources, and I think all of the previous speakers highlighted the importance of that, especially when we're talking about groundwater resources. There's a need to allocate the necessary funding for that. Improving access to information, because sometimes the information is available but is not accessible to all parties reporting or involved in cooperation. Improving monitoring is important, and mainstreaming cooperation at institutional level. That's really important, where you have bodies that are empowered and entailed with that cooperation. That really helps moving forward. And in terms of financing, we're also now looking at financing that goes beyond just transboundary cooperation and trying to tap into climate funds and climate adaptation funds for that. So just to wrap up, what we're doing now, in terms of addressing the data gaps, we're establishing an Arab groundwater knowledge platform where we will have knowledge, any information and data available on a platform easily accessible to all of the Arab states, and also combining that with remote sensing and data that goes beyond the traditional data. We're also having a workshop on strengthening legal institutional arrangements for transboundary water cooperation and data and information exchange next month in Beirut for the Arab states. And we're hoping in that workshop to touch on improved coordination at basin level between countries, addressing some of the concerns to countries on reporting, but we're also looking at how to improve and the data and information exchange either through protocols or how to improve that based on experiences from other regions, and also going beyond again and looking at climate change and how that can be addressed also in a transboundary setting at a cooperation level. So I've put the link for people interested on that to learn more about that upcoming workshop. And we've already sent invitations, and that workshop will be done obviously with the co-custodians, ECE and UNESCO in Beirut next month. And thank you for that, Alistair. I'll stop there.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Ziad. That was great. And I think a really important underlying message there, particularly in areas where there aren't so many basin organizations, that organizations such as ESCWA can make a great contribution in supporting the 652 specifically and water cooperation generally. So really nice to hear that, and I hope that resonates well with the participants.